Fred, must be always a good feeling and nice for you to come home, especially after the circumstances, not being drafted, a local kid here. It's got to feel nice to come back here.
Yeah, it's good. Like we talked about before, just the history of growing up somewhere, and I'm sure every player go back to their high school or go back close to home, they get the same similar type of feeling, and it's no different for me. So it's always good to be back close to home. And growing up, this is the only team that we had that was even remotely close. Obviously Milwaukee as well, but as an Illinois kid, if you weren't kind of infatuated with the Bulls, there's probably something wrong with you.
How do you handle all the? I mean, there's a little bit, for lack of a better term, you're a little bit of a rock star coming back. Like, how do you handle the ticket requests, the people coming out of the woodwork? I mean, it's been a few times now, but to them, you're coming back again.
Yeah, just say no. That's it. It's real simple. Just say no. I never have been crazy with tickets like that. Family, close family, friends, immediate family. And then after that, if you really want to see me, go ahead, purchase a ticket, or I'll see you in the summertime when I come back home. So it's never a hassle for me. I gotta, blessed to have a really good family and close circle of friends that make it easy for me. So I never really had to worry too much about that.
Freddie, for this game specifically, we were talking the other day to the guys. Does it help you that you have some, I don't mean you, the team overall, that you have some games obviously remaining to try and get this thing together chemistry-wise as the playoffs come, but also games against potential playoff opponents? I mean, you're going to see, 4 of the potential first-round matchups.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think, for whatever we're looking to do, we can get it. If we're looking to work some kinks out, if we're looking to work on lineups, if we're looking for playoff competition, you get a little bit of everything. So it's going to be good for us these last week and a half, 2 weeks to go out there and work through it and kind of a dress rehearsal a little bit. Obviously, we're trying to win all the games, but, experiment a little bit, play around, and get a good feel for where we're going to be, when it's, win or go home time.
Do you think you guys need to get Marc more involved?
I mean, he's pretty involved to me. I think he's initiating most of the offense that we have. The ball may be in his hands more than anybody's at this point. I think I probably need to check some analytics. I'm sure they got a stat for that now. But, in terms of scoring, he's just got to keep being aggressive, continue to look for his own shot. And, I'm not worried about Marc. I think that playoffs come and he scores 10 in a row, 12 in a row, or has a big 20-10 game, we'll never think twice about it. So, obviously probably could make a more concerted effort, but we can't make the man shoot. He's going to shoot when he was ready to shoot. And, I think he can score at will, and that's probably the problem is he feels like he can do it whenever he wants to, and just no real urgency.
Fred, how are you feeling health-wise, and what's it been like getting back into the lineup and getting healthy?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good just to be back playing, aside from everything else, that we worry about so much other stuff, but just to be back on the floor running up and down, and then you add on wanting to play good and all that stuff. So 5 weeks is an eternity in the NBA, and it was a very long time for me to be out and not really be able to do much at all. So I'm just happy to be back playing.
Marc, handle these last 5-6 games, and we have been talking about it, and I'm sure you've heard that, like, when you think about it, you guys are going to influence stuff at the bottom. After this game, you think about playing Brooklyn, Orlando, all those teams, Miami, Charlotte. How do you guys handle these last 5 or 6 games?
Trying to continue to build. We seems like we're getting guys in and out of the lineup every other game. But you want to set your rotations. You want to, make sure that everything is tight as far as concept of the game and what you're trying to accomplish on offense and defense. Continue to build that communication and that trust on both ends, and get a good rhythm. And most important, stay healthy.
Yeah, Marc, you seem to be able to pick and choose when you want to be aggressive in terms of shooting the ball. What goes into that thinking?
Just reading what's in front of me, understanding, what the team is looking for. Obviously, we have a bunch of guys that can score the ball, and they need space, and they need the ball. So, trying to get the ball to those guys, create space as much as possible for them. And within all those things, trying to stay assertive and aggressive when need to be.
How do you determine, okay, this is my time now? How do you determine that?
Depending on the flow of the game, when the game is, it depends. Seeing how they playing us and what we might need at points. There's times that you need a lot of ball movement because they're in a scramble situation, so you want to move it. And there's times that everything slows down and the ball kind of gets stuck. And at that point, obviously, somebody has to make a play.
I was guilty of using the wrong word. I asked Fred, how do you get Mark more involved? I meant more shooting. He said involved. I think he probably touches the ball more than anybody right now. And he said if there's an analytic for there's a stat somewhere for. And is that kind of what you're talking about? I mean, you're moving the ball a ton, you're initiating the offense a lot, it's going through you a lot. But then how do you make that decision on I'm going to keep myself and I'm going to shoot?
Well, you gotta every now and then gotta look at that round thing, and take a look because obviously I'm a talented player and I'm able to score the ball. And when you get in passing mode, it's hard to get off it. It's just finding that balance and going into that game with the mindset like score first, and then if it's not there, move it. We'll get there.
Nick, we asked Mark this. 6 games left, and everybody's been talking about this. You've got 4 against teams that you might match up with at the bottom. Do those games hold any more significance? I know at this point you're trying to get literally a book on teams, and what better way to learn them than in a playoff situation for them?
Yeah, I think it does, Jonesy. I think that it's always good to just get up close and personal, really, and see the guys out there. And I don't think you can make a huge deal out of it because I just think the level of intensity and focus and all that stuff still might not be as it's going to be, where it's going to be. So, and I think it makes it a little more interesting maybe than some of these other games, right? At least.
Have you put your experimenter's hat away for the...
Boy, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. In what regard?
I noticed that like the last little while defensively, you started working on blitzing the one guy, blitzing the other guy. You did that for a few games, and then you kind of I'm not sure who you'd blitz in New York, to be honest. But I mean, is that something? Does that become part of your main package, or is that just something in your back pocket?
No, it's again. I think I don't know. First, to answer your question, I don't know if I'll ever put that away. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff right now that I've kind of mostly offensively that I'm sitting on and haven't broken out that I know we're going to at some point, and I'm kind of torn between giving it one little run and letting people see it versus just holding it all the way back. And I think we got an experienced enough team to hold most of it back. They'll be able to adjust to it during the game. And you guys can see like we've really been working hard off the board on ATOs. We're really mixing that up and changing that up. We're I don't know, in the last 8 games, we've probably run 40, 50 totally different ATOs. So that's been a nice look to see. And the guys it's starting to translate. Like they're really taking it from the board to the floor like a lot because we've been doing that a little bit more. New stuff.
How happy are you to have Fred back healthy and getting regular minutes?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a big difference. Like these guys will tell you that have been around. You can really notice the change in the feel of our team with him here and him being healthy. Like he never really had the healthiest year at all until he's come back from this last injury. He was playing through a lot of nicks here and there. I can't even remember. I know one of them was a back, one of them was a hip, and I can't remember some of the things he was going through, but he just wasn't right? But he is right now, and you can totally tell, and you can totally tell the difference in our team. And that thing I keep saying is the sense of who our team thinks they are has been growing, and he's definitely part of that.
How much do you think when he hurt his hand it forced him to just, okay, now he can't do anything, so everything's going to get better?
Yeah, for sure. I think, there's just no doubt, and he's probably, right there, 1A as toughest guys on our team, right? I don't think you'd ever want to challenge or question Kyle as being the one of the toughest guys in the league, really. So he was playing through stuff, man, that maybe some guys wouldn't play through, or he wasn't telling the trainers about everything that was wrong because he wanted to be out there, man. So it did force him to heal up, and he didn't have much of a choice. And also, he did an outstanding job of working on his conditioning. And he did some other things that we asked him to do, which was really knuckle down on some shooting. And we did some talking about what shots and deeper shots and quicker release and under pressure and under duress. And looks like it's translated a little bit, right?
How's OG feeling?
He's still just okay. He's not gonna play tonight. He's got to go back and go through the testing again tomorrow. And I think he's okay, but he's not perfect, and you need to make sure those kind of things are perfect. So we'll test him again tomorrow, and hopefully he'll be ready to go Monday.